my goodness. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Solomon Project, y'alls. Where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. Yes. Those are facts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Ever since I became a broker, actually before I became a broker, I kept hearing the same old. Here I am back in 1996 making a decision that will impact my future. What was that? Well, I decided to participate in the stock market. An opportunity arose, and in my mind I said, what that is? I hopped on it. Because living in New York City, although I was in the hood, I was still able to interact with business people, with wealthy people. And they asked me questions, and I heard conversations, and I came to the understanding that the stock market was it. I had to somehow figure out a way to get involved in the stock market. A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people feel the complete opposite. A lot of people say, no way, that's gambling. Well, opening up a business is gambling. Would you not open up a business because it's gambling? And why is it gambling? Well, it's obviously not the same type of gamble as what takes place at a casino. It's not the same. You're still gambling, but it's not the same. I think that's obvious to everybody when expressed that way. It is not the same as gambling at a casino. By the way, we're on our way just south of St. Louis. We're currently in Missouri. Froze my butt off last night because the heat inside the truck was acting up. So how can you take that gamble? How could you start a business and gamble with your money? Gamble with your time. Maybe gamble with your life. Oh. The reason it's a gamble is because there's risk involved. But not everything is as risky as everything else. Some things are somewhat risky. Some things have low risk. Some things are extremely risky. Did you guys ever see any of the shorts on YouTube where they have people that work on these oil platforms in the middle of the ocean, in the rough seas? Or have you guys ever seen, oh, look at this, a drone? I'm looking at a drone right now, up in the sky. Pretty funky. No, it's not a drone. I got all excited for nothing. It's a helicopter. Here I am getting all excited, thinking that I was going to report something that was going on in the Jersey shores. Sorry. So these fishermen, fishermen that fish in frozen waters by Alaska, by the Aleutian Islands. These king crab fishermen. That's dangerous. That's very risky work. Some people don't make the same kind of connection with that type of risk as the risk that somebody would take opening up a business or investing in a business or investing in the stock market, which is the same as investing in a business. It's true, some stocks are very risky, whereas others have such little risk, they also have very little return. And when you tell people that, they start complaining. Oh, but I thought if I bought this, I'd become a zillionaire in like 30 days. No, it doesn't work like that. And if anybody's offering you something like that, you better turn around and walk away. No. Don't walk away. I'm sorry. Run! Run! Get away from that person. In the world of investing, there's something called risk management. Huh? Why is that word management caked up in there? Well, because you can pick and choose just how much risk you're willing to take. When you fill out the documents to open up your 401k at work, usually Human Resources has no clue, but you'll have somebody from whatever firm is providing the 401k for the business you're working in and give you this little spiel about risk tolerance. They usually give you a 7 to 10 question questionnaire. And in those 7 to 10 questions, they're going to ask you questions like, how would you react if you lost all your money? And you would have 4 answers that you can pick from. And there will be a series of other questions just to get a general idea as to just how much risk you can tolerate. Are you a gambler? Are you the type to play dice out in front of your building with a couple of 40 ounces and a couple of friends? Are you the type to play poker? Or do you walk out in the street with a helmet on, some shoulder pads, a 20-shot shotty, and you live out in the suburbs and there are no predatory animals that traverse your area? They don't even come close. You don't have encounters with bears, coyotes, wolves, none of that. But you still come out with a helmet, shoulder pads, a 20-shot shotty. And once you walk out the door, you're looking in every direction, running to your vehicle. If it's parked outside, you're running, you're looking everywhere, trembling nervously, thinking that at any point in time, something, someone, or some alien from outer space will assault you. Well, then you're on the opposite end of the spectrum from those poker players, the ones that play for money, the ones that play the crapshoot for money. You're on the opposite end. You don't like risk. You go to work and you come home directly. Do not pass go. You're at home. You got like 18 different cameras all over your house, just in case. There's never been a crime reported where you live since you've lived there, and even before the area was developed, there was never a crime committed. But you feel the need to have like 18 cameras in your house because you're doing everything possible to minimize the least amount of risk. There are things that you can invest in, even when you're like that. You could be like the gamblers at the casino and day trade. You can even day trade options or futures, which will take it up another notch. So there's no need to be afraid of investing in the stock market unless you're afraid of who you are. And that's understandable. That's actually a good thing, that you can keep you can keep it real with yourself, okay? Keeping it real with yourself. I've spoken about it before. If you want to lie to everybody else that you want. Men do it all the time when they meet women. They lie about their prowess all the time. But the one person you definitely do not want to lie to, and you can keep this internally, you don't have to tell anybody that. Internally, you're honest with yourself. You don't have to tell anybody. That's your own personal little space. You could be your own little personal space cadet and be honest with yourself. And when you make decisions, keep it honest with yourself. Nobody else has to know. Nobody has to know that you're day trading. Nobody has to know that you only like to invest in bonds. And if you're still nervous, don't worry. There's a word. There's a word that maybe you can perceive it as magic. Yes, a magic protector. You may not be 100% safe. You may not be 100% safe. But you're not going to get wiped out. You're not going to get wiped out. If you apply this one word that works like magic, there might be an economic event or an event related to investing where you might hear other people crying, screaming in pain. Oh my goodness, I lost it all. It might prompt you to get nervous. Go to your phone, go to your laptop, and go check to see where your money is at, where your power is, where you have used a portion of your power and invested it. Because you've heard the screams. You see the people crying, shivering, saying that they lost it all. And then you go check yours. Check whatever it is that you invested in. And not just what you invested in, but how you invested. Because the magic is in how you invest. And when you open up the application, when you look at your brokerage account, you say, wait a minute, why the hell are all these people crying and complaining that they lost it all? My account is all right. It went down a little bit, but it's just fine. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me go check this area right. Oh, I just received a dividend payout. Oh, I got some more dividends paying off pretty soon. Maybe these dividend payouts are stabilizing my portfolio. Oh, but look at this one investment I got right here. Yeah, this one ain't doing that great. It's kind of suffering right now. But I still don't understand. Is it that these people don't understand the magic? They don't know the magic word? Maybe they don't know the magic word. Do you guys want to know the magic word? It's diversification. Oh, what that is? Diversifying is another way of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, but it sounds so fancy. Diversification. Also, when you go on Bloomberg now or CNBC or any of these other places, you hear that word diversification. Now you can go, oh, I know what that is. That's when you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So because you don't put all your eggs in one basket, if something happens to one of your baskets, you still got more eggs because they're in other baskets. So when you take your power and distribute it, instead of distributing it all in one basket, you can distribute it amongst a bunch of baskets. What the flying fury is going on here? What's that? 5 state troopers just drove by with their disco lights going crazy? Okay, well, we'll focus on what we're doing. So, you may have a high risk investment here, a low risk investment there, a medium investment somewhere else. So you can spread it out. You can spread your power out. You don't have to concentrate it in one area. Although there are some investors that don't agree with that. There are some investors that believe that you should do enough homework so that you can isolate one investment and just pour all your power into that one investment. If you do that, I hope, and this is not financial advice, so cut it out. But if you want to take that approach, I hope you got some backup funds. I hope you got some backup power in the event that something should just happen. Because things happen. Just like when you start your own business, anything can go wrong. There is nothing guaranteed in business or investing. There's nothing guaranteed really in life. So there's risk you're surrounded by risk. So what are you crying about? Anyway, you can choose to spread some of your power over some commodities. You can put put some in gold, put some in oil, put some in soybeans. I'm not a fan of crypto, but if you want to go that route, you can put some in there too. And if you got a taste for other things, well, you got the stocks, which is basically you're purchasing companies. You're not buying the whole company, you're buying a little piece, but you're in there like swimwear. So you can spread it all out amongst the stocks as well. You got stocks of companies that are here in the United States. You got stocks of companies that are in other parts of the world. You've got stocks that are companies that deal with commodities. You just finished diversifying directly with some commodities, but there are companies that work on those commodities. Like Exxon, for example, if you were interested in oil, but you didn't want to put too much in the actual oil itself and you wanted to diversify your portfolio and get some company that works with oil, like Exxon, like British Petroleum, BP, you can do that. And there are other companies. There are clothing companies. You've got companies that provide electricity, water, shipping. Companies that provide weapons. There's a large variety. Our economy is divided into 13 sectors, and you can pick and choose companies in all 13 sectors. You can do that. If you want to do that, you can do that. You can lend money out. Oh, what? Lend money out? What do you mean? I'm not a bank. I'm not lending nobody. No. You can't go around lending money like a bank because you'll get in big trouble with the government. Banks are highly regulated. Highly regulated. You can't just... There's a name for that. It's illegal. When you lend, you're a loan shark if you're not going through the banking system. But there's a way you can do it without violating any of those laws. And it's funny because there's a wordplay associated with this type of lending. So the government kind of flipped the script there. You can lend money to a corporation. You can lend money to a variety of different governments. Doesn't even have to be the U.S. government. You can lend money to another government. Huh? Yes, you could do that. And different countries, different risk levels, just like the stock market. You can lend some countries money and you may never get that money back. So there's risk there too. How you do that? Okay, so it's called a bond. You buy a bond. See, that's that word play. Yeah, that's the word play right there. You buy a bond. Yeah. What you're actually doing is lending money when you buy a bond. There's a certificate in association with your name. And that certificate says it could be a month. It could be a year. It could be 20 years, 30 years. in 20 or 30 years, a month, 6 months, whatever it is, whoever you loan that money to, they got to give you all your money back, plus the interest. You'll be getting the interest every 6 months anyway, provided that it's a bond that you bought that was longer than 6 months. But if you got like a 5-year bond, you'll be getting an interest payment every 6 months. Different bonds, different lengths of time, different interest that they will pay you. If you're lending money to a corporation and it's a risky lend that you're about to do, you should be lending it for a very high rate of return, a very high interest rate. Let's say you want to lend ABC Corporation some money. Well, they have bonds that you can buy, and you buy a bond from ABC, but you already heard, and you've been hearing for a while, ABC could very well go under, maybe this year. So maybe you think that by lending them money, you're either going to help the company, or you might be able to get your money back in time before they go under, and you make a nice return. And because ABC is about to go under, well, they're going to have to provide a very high interest rate. Depending on how bad a shape that they're in, it could be 20, 25, 30, even more of a percent. Now, if it was something like IBM, maybe, yeah, they're not going to give you a big return. No, because it's a solid company. Coca-Cola. If you want to lend Coca-Cola money, or Pepsi, you're not going to get 20% if you lend the money. You might get 1.5%. You might be less. Why would you do it? Maybe you're that type that wants to wear a helmet every time you walk out of your house with the 20-shot shotty. Or you might need a safe place to keep a chunk of money, and it's too big of an amount for you to put in a bank. Maybe. I don't know. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying there's no need to be scared. You just need to know what your risk tolerance is and what's available along with your risk tolerance. I don't teach people how to trade or invest or any of that stuff, because when you want to learn that stuff, or people that have learned it, it costs them a lot of money to learn it. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm not stepping on the toes of the people who already paid, nor for the people who get paid from teaching how to invest and trade. I'm sorry. If I develop a personal relationship with you, we got each other's phone number, sure, I'll be more than happy to guide you along. And don't forget, this is not financial advice. So stay fresh and keep it profitable. Kitty, hurry up and pick these people up. I see that they're getting some crazy ideas. Come get them.
Arabamda aça, seviyorum çift kalem aça. Göremedi kimseden fayda. İşler